But anyway, listen, thank you all so much for being here today. As I was mentioning to many of you before, we are in the penthouse room for the conference. It's close, it's cozy, that's kind of how we like to do this. My name is Greg Nayor. I'm the Vice President for Student Affairs at Daemen College in beautiful Buffalo, New York.
I'm Nicole, Easton. I'm the president of impulseGUIDE, also in beautiful Buffalo, New York. And I'm Taryn, Bunn, also in beautiful Buffalo, New York. And I'm the software specialist for impulseGUIDE.
And she doesn't want to talk, but that's Cassie behind it. She thought she was going to get away with that. So listen, we have a short amount of time here today, but what we wanted to do was really talk to you about best practices of student engagement in terms of managing media on your campuses. And some of the things that we'll talk about with regards to how we do communication right now and what we're currently doing on our campuses and state of that, and then looking at affordable ways that you can partner with organizations and companies to do things a little bit better, a little bit different, a little bit more engaging on your campus. That's what our goal is for today. I've been working with impulseGUIDE now for 2 years, about 2 years, and it's really been transformational in some of the things that we've been able to do on our campus. I'm also a small private college, and I don't have a lot of money, so that's been an important piece in everything that we do.
Yes, of course.
So what's kind of the current situation on our college campuses? And you guys can think about this on your own campus. What do we have going on? We have lots of emails going out on a regular basis, death by email. Student groups, other club organizations, ourselves, with the compliance things that we have to get out to people. We have static posters around campus, and you know those things that drive me nuts on my campus, walking across our student center, or walking across campus and seeing an event for November, and it's already January. So we have those things. We're never going to get rid of all that completely, but those are the things that we're dealing with. Bulletin boards that are cluttered, that are missing the boat, multiple club flyers and things that are duplicating on top of everything. Emergency notification systems, that's the other pieces. Obviously, we think a lot in terms of advertising for events and organizations and activities, but the other thing that we have to do, and we have to use our communication for, whether it's in paper or virtually, is emergency notifications, timely warnings, early notifications, or if there's a massive situation on our campus and we have to get something out quickly, we need a way to be able to do that and infuse all this together. Some of the other challenges that we have, if you look at, can you go to the next one? Some of the things that we have, and I'm going to turn it over to my colleagues in a second. I read the script before. I see that look on her face. One of the challenges that we have, and I'm sure you guys can think about this if you have digital. How many of you have some kind of digital signage on your campus? How many of that's internal or like a hodgepodge system? Okay. So, and when I first got to Daemen, one of the things that we experienced, obviously we have all these things. We had one digital sign out in front of our student center, and it was a PowerPoint, and we had a USB, right? You update the PowerPoint or you don't update the PowerPoint, and it plays or it stops playing because the loop didn't work. And that's a challenge because I think the same thing I talk about when I do crisis management presentations, and I do that quite a bit. I've done that throughout the country. I've done it in a lot of different schools. The thing that I talk about that is most important is communication. Communication is critical. And if your communication isn't timely, if your communication is out of date, then what you're doing doesn't matter. I think that's the same thing for our job in terms of events and such. Nicole, you want to talk about some of the benefits of digital signage?
Right, so these are really kind of the top 6 benefits of digital signage on campus. And really safety is kind of the main priority, and I think everyone can agree with that. In a software, if you're looking for something technologically, what you want is something that's going to push out to all of your devices on campus, including your desktops, including your mobile devices, including your digital signage. So you really are going to be looking for some company that is going to have some kind of partnership or arrangement with an emergency mass notification system company. You want it to immediately alert the students and just go out immediately. And then it will also have include a way for you to know what to do. Like, what do I have to do? So this emergency is happening, but what do I do? So we want it to inform the population of what the next step they need to take is. Events and promotions, announcements, I mean, that can drive attendance, that's dances, that's any kind of event that happens on campus, club notifications, anything like that. Lunch menu boards, you can schedule those so that you have maybe offer breakfast. You can show breakfast in the morning, maybe it switches automatically to lunch or automatically to dinner, or maybe it's just a promo board, just advertising something new or different. Campus maps, it's a good way to provide wayfinding services for visitors or people who are new to campus in some way. And if you have instant management of communications, well, I mean, that's just maybe increasing your incremental profit on things, advertising the different meal choices that you have, or advertising off-campus businesses that you can kind of like share advertising with and sell advertising to. And then cost effectiveness, really. Cost effectiveness, it can be used both externally and internally. So the ease of use reduces faculty time that they're required, like you have a club or something that you make flyers for, it has to be out there. Maybe they make the flyers, maybe you help them design it. Maybe all that's gone away now because it's just scheduled for the system and it's super easy that way.
And I think the challenge for all of us, and the challenge certainly for me on my campus, is being able to figure out how do we marry all these different pieces together in a kind of seamless way. How are we able to do that both internally or work with somebody externally and be able to do that in a cost-effective manner? And so I think a lot, as we talk today, and as we talk a little bit about some of the things that we've been able to do at Daemen, I don't want you to look at this as just solely something that Daemen and is exclusive to that. I think these are ideas and things that can help you in looking at what you're doing on your own respective campus.
So this is just kind of a grouping of external goals that will help you maximize your technology. And so it's communication. It's talking about all those different things that you want to get communicated out. The things we just talked about, the clubs, the transportation information. And for example, at Daemen, they have it so that it's scheduled so that the students know when the next transportation to wherever, the grocery store or around campus is coming. It maybe can drive things in the community. So, like maybe you need someone to volunteer for an event that's happening in the community. They can do that. Maybe it's clean up your neighborhood day or something like that. Obviously, the wayfinding, which we mentioned, and encouraging student collaboration. I mean, in some cases, you can have screens that convert from one format to another format, so that you can have students working together, like collaboratively in an area, in a space.
One of the other pieces I'll mention real quick, and these are examples from being in college campus. I think of these as well. But this is in large part because of everything that these fine folks have been able to do for us. But the challenge with all this is that we have some wonderfully talented people on our staff. We don't always have people who can design things, who can keep them current, keep them looking fresh, while they're still trying to do their administrative tasks. And that's one of the pieces that working with a partner can really help you with.
So then we can talk about internal goals of maximizing technology, which includes finding something that's affordable, something that's easy to use. And also like having a really diverse kind of digital presence is something that also makes you more attractive to visitors and potential students. They see that as a benefit to them. You can upsell, you can work with people in the community, like for example, Greg Dashes, I know I'm skipping a little bit here, but like the third-party advertising, that's something where, Daemen's been able to monetize their digital signage because they're able to partner with people in the community that want to advertise to the student population. So there's a lot of different things. One of the things that I've started there is video because that actually kind of is something we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah, so let me ask you guys a question in a little bit. Many of you raised your hand when you said that you have digital signage on your campuses. How many of you all are managing that for your campus or a large chunk of your campus for your own division? A few of all. And how do you guys do that? Can I ask? Okay. And is it an in-house kind of system?
Yeah.
And so if people wanted, like, if students want to update things or put something out, they do that for you all?
Well, I don't do it myself.
Right.
It goes via email or all our conversations to the communication starter who decides whether or not to put something together.
Excellent. And does that sound familiar to a lot of your processes? Hallway conversations, using different?
Yeah, so I think our biggest challenge right now is that it's very siloed, so it's managed by building, and so because of how the decision making happens in those spaces, it's managed by different people. So in the student center, it's managed by student affairs, but our person that's responsible for that, the rest of our student center, is trying to bring all of campus onto the same system and let people know most places you can still have different people be administrators for those units. And so there is an online request form that a lot of times is whether or not people submit, they will submit their own designs, and so that's challenging.
And everything
well, because people don't know the font needs to be large.
And everything you're talking about also takes time. So, you know, and I love our students. I love them to death, but sometimes they always don't plan in as much advance as we'd like them to, right? So by the time they put all that together, it's already over. So that takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy and thought. We've got different businesses, buildings on our campuses, whether we're a large campus or a small campus. There's a lot to pull that together. Now, one other question for you. When you think about this, where do people get most of their information about events? Where are the best places to post information out there?
Digital signage is hard. I mean, that's really good for most people.
High traffic areas.
High traffic areas, thank you. And what are some of those high traffic areas? Dining areas, right, absolutely. Where else? Campus center, sure. In the classroom, we're not paying attention. No, so there's got to be there's those kind of places that you want to be able to look at and maximize, right? People are walking through your student center. They're not always just sitting there. So you want to be able to get things out there quickly and bold. These are examples of things that we've done in our student center, but it also plays in some of our eating areas. It plays in our fitness center across the street. It plays in different places across campus. And slowly, like locusts, we're trying to keep it over and get it all over. But you think it's big, bold, quick, whether it's information about events, information about programs we're doing in dining, information about our computer repair people and our IT support. All that information is ways that you can combine this into one kind of system.
So the digital signage industry is a huge industry, obviously, as video and digital communications have kind of just exploded over the last decade or so. It's obviously you can see expected to exceed 20 billion by 2020, and has a higher recall rate than any other kind of media that you can see. This infographic thing, the little circle here, is just really, yes, it does not add up to 100%. It's way over that. It's because it was based on what people actually remember from like a prior month of recall. So, 52% of people remember seeing a digital signage item. That's kind of impressive, versus like looking at a magazine or looking at something else. Revenue by industry. So this is actually how much of the digital signage, of all digital signage revenue, 8.4 was consumed by education. So that's a relative small amount in the group of things. And you would expect it to kind of be that because, you think in terms of retail, you go to the grocery store, you go to kind of a sports arena, those kinds of areas are generally consuming kind of more. This little chart is just the growth. So 13.2% growth though year on year. This is 2014 information, which is the most current we can get. But really, like your cost for your increase in percentage is kind of good, and I think that's partially due to sort of your non-tax situation in a lot of cases. I think you guys are kind of saving for other industries there.
Except for New York, they find a way to get your money somewhere. So just in terms of that, before we go to kind of a fantastic video that we have, and I think you'll all enjoy it, I want to think about how much money do you all think we spend on campus in terms of signage, whether we're talking digital or paper or print. How much? Rough thoughts on that. Decent amount? A bushel on cap? So I thought of this when I kind of came to Daemen and I looked at what we were doing, and it wasn't just in our dining facility. We had outdated stuff in our dining facility, and we were regularly reprinting things, very nice and glossy and all that. But then I was also looking at the amount of time. Cost isn't just money, right? It's time. The amount of time that we were spending trying to update PowerPoint and take a flash drive from this place to that place and keep those things up and dated, and the amount of time it was taking to get IT to come over here and set up this cord running through this wall to get this up and running, which is kind of what we were doing, right? And again, I know I'm a small campus, but I would imagine that some of you at larger campuses deal with the same kind of nonsense. There was a lot of time and energy involved in it. And so for us, when we were looking at solutions and impulseGUIDE kind of fell into our lap, what we wanted was something that we could do very easily, that could combat a lot of these things that we were talking about, that was user-friendly, that we could still work with, and we could still update as we needed to, but that also that there was somebody with some expertise to be able to update things and create some things for us and design things in one place. So we could design it in one place and be done with it, right? We can have it set so that if we wanted to run an event that was coming on this day and then it was over, that it would automatically come down. That was important for us because we get busy. We get busy managing things. I'm a vice president and student. I can't manage every flyer on campus. I try. I try very, very hard. But I can't manage all that stuff, and none of us can. So we need some automation to be able to help us, again, in an affordable way, because I don't have a ton of extra resources available to me.
So, video. It's back to video. This is why I had the asterisk on the video on the other slide, and it's because video accounts for 74% of all of the online transaction things that happen on a daily basis, and it's going to be 80% by 2019. And it's 86% of colleges and universities have some kind of presence on YouTube. So if you're really thinking about it, you're extending this video out into your campus. It's going to be more important as we go forward. It's just going to be increasingly more important. And no one even cares that I'm talking about percentages of viewership of videos online because you love cats and you love Roombas and cats. And then when I showed this, Greg saw this, he was like, well, I'm wondering why I need a Roomba. So, but anyway, my whole thing is that really video is going to end up being like so critical in so many ways going forward, right?
Absolutely. And again, it's funny because when we were doing this and you showed us in my office, some of you may not find it hard to believe I have a low attention span. My focus was on this. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about, Nicole. I was lost. But I think that's true of our students too. I think that's absolutely true of our students too. Again, what we're trying to do, and it's something we want you to think about, when we talk about putting this together, what we talked about a lot was that we didn't want this to be an infomercial, not like a Bronco. That's how I got my first food dehydrator. We want to make sure we leave you guys with content and things you can consider, looking at all the different things that we have to communicate and all the different mediums available to us that we have to be looking at. We have to be in ways that we can engage students, right? And I'm sure we all do that now. We tweet things out. I tweet things out, not because I enjoy tweeting things out, but because I think that's helpful for people, right? Having things out there on screens are important because that's where people are getting their information. We have to be able to meet them in a certain way. Yes, we want them to rise to what we're doing, but we also have to meet people in the space that they're at, and that's just the world we live in. And it's not going to get there solely by the student flyer.
It's not, and really the opportunity that video presents is, it's where it's going to be. I mean, it's funny because I have another business model that I'm involved in, and someone maybe, this is 10 years ago, said, well, it's not all about the internet. Well, except then a year ago, the same person said, it's all about the internet. So, I mean, really, when we're talking about that, that's exactly accurate. So,
one other thing that I asked questions about alert systems. How many of you all are responsible in some way, shape, or form for your alert systems on your campus? Just huh? Okay. All right. How many of you see alerts come up on your campus? Yay, more participation. Great. So when we send those out, we have to come up with ways, and the federal government and their infinite wisdom and the clear changes that came out in 2016, right? They talk about you have to reach 100% of your people. Now, that we all know is impossible. But what we have to do is have a good faith effort. Just sending an email isn't going to cut it. Just sending a text message that people can opt into or opt out of is not going to cut it. You need multiple mechanisms, right? Redundancy. We call that communication redundancies on our campus. That was the other piece for me. That was the burning platform for me when I was looking at things to do. It's not just about the advertising. It's about the campus safety piece. It's about the crisis management piece. I know that in any one of these systems now that I have on campus, that when we send out an email and a text, we can take it over. Once we get the server fixed, we can take it over and we can have an alert pop up on those screens. The same ones that are popping up in all the classrooms on campus, on all the computers. That, for me, was priceless. It didn't cost me a lot of money, but it allowed us to integrate all that together. And I think that's something, again, in whatever you're doing on your campus, when you're thinking about digital science, when you're thinking about communication, that crisis piece has to be a part of
it. Once somebody has seen a slide 6 times, after that they're ignoring it. So that's where potentially it could get costly. You need the initial content created, and then you need somebody or outside of your college or in your college campus updating it constantly and creating new images or new content for you.
The important thing, again, when you're thinking about content, you're thinking about management, you either need somebody internally to be doing it, or multiple people, right? You put it on multiple people's platforms, which, as we all know, is something that gets pushed back, or you need somebody helping you and assisting you. And I think so. One of the things we want to be able to show you some of what we've been able to do. I think that's the next slide. It's like I actually pay attention. So these are just some examples of ways, you look at paper communication, and again, we're never going to get away from paper, and I don't propose that you do. I think you still need flyers around campus. One, it adds a life, it adds an energy. It also is something that people will read, like in the bathroom, for instance, right? People in the bathroom, people read paper. I don't want a digital sign example. There's probably a camera there. You all know the government's spying on us at all times. Will, back me up on this. You agree with me, right?
Stand out there.
But it's important that you be able to have multiple different mechanisms for doing this. So this is, what you see on paper. There's a lot of paper. It's too much, right? So being able to use digital signage in a way, again, you can clean things up. And this is an example from, I gave them a lot of grief. This is from our competitor school down the street. I don't know why they would put this in here, but I let it go. I let it go. But you can see, again, there's a cleanliness to it, but it's not only just about clean, because you don't want sterile. That's not what we're going for on our campuses. But you can see that, again, if something's rotating, you're much more likely to look at it as opposed to something that's always in your face.
And I have one thing that I've noticed too. For people that in student affairs, sometimes for students or faculty, think if I got a flyer to put up on a digital thing, I want it to run every 5 seconds. And is that probably the best way to do it? That every 5 seconds they're going to see that slide.
Then they're not going to start looking at the screen anymore.
Yeah. Using someone else to tell you what is appropriate. A week out, we need this much time between. As it gets closer and closer.
The day of, that you kind of short time frame.
Well, we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because there are people that will be like, okay, I'm going to usurp the system and I'm going to put this every 2 seconds they're going to see my slide and not the other slides. And then it gets into a battle between departments and who's got most slides up.
Right. So digital signage. So if you're looking for something to buy, really what is ideal is something that's cloud-based so that you can manage it when you're not there. Like if you're not the person, but if you are the person, or you are the person, if you're here and you're not at your home university in your office, then it's better to be able to just manage it from wherever you are. If you're on vacation, you forgot something, you're in Tahiti, great, you can go on and you can fix it right then. Whatever it is, well, maybe not. Maybe there's no service, I don't know. You want something cost effective, you want software that's intuitive, that just feels easy to use, that feels well planned out. You want something that's turnkey, that can just come right in and people can start using it right away. Something that is important, I think, too, is quality tech support. Really having some people who are reachable, that can connect with you right away, maybe can log into your systems and help you with something if it's necessary. And again, very user-friendly, but that's, I think, one of the most important things about the software.
And I think, for us, when we partnered with impulseGUIDE on our campus, again, it's not a one-size-fits-all model. The thing that's been helpful for us as we've been working with it is that we have people on our campus who can use the software and update things, but we also use them quite a bit. And Cassie's been very modest and filling in that. It's fantastic work for us when we need something designed. Our shuttle system, being able to announce when people are coming up in advance, that was something we couldn't do. That was something that Taryn wants to spend the weekend doing for us. She enjoyed it thoroughly, I know. But those are things that are very helpful for those pieces. But we do have people who can upload things. We have a flyer we want to put out there, we want to put that in there. We have people who can do that.
You can have administrative permissions for any different level of people within your campus. You can do that even with students.
And what the video that they're showing, this was a renovation we did this past summer. It's our den, which is a renovation of one of our dining facilities on campus. And you can see what it looked like before. And obviously, they didn't do the construction of it. That would be fantastic. But the screens and such, I think, again, what we were going for there was a communication piece and a video and an ambiance to it. And it's not just the food and the signage for the food, but it's also the screens that are going there. And you can alternate between TV and alternate between that and signage, as well as, again, you've got this video wall. If there's something major going on, that all converts very quickly to a text alert. And that's important for us as we're doing that. For us, when you're doing renovations on your campus, I think it's something that's really critical to be thinking about the communication piece. It's not just the bricks and mortar. It's not just the flow of people coming in and out. We spent a long time thinking about the communication systems we wanted in there. We spent a long time thinking long and hard about how we wanted the technology piece in there, because it was something that was going to be there for a long time and everywhere.
Well, and because Daemen planned effectively in advance, for that project, we were able to work directly with all the contractors that were actually building it. So it actually was really, really convenient.
Concerns and good jokes you heard.
I'll just add, I think one of the important things about the video piece of it is, if any of you are looking into Generation Z, a lot of the research is showing that rather than read a recipe, they'll watch a 30-minute long video about how to do something, right? So they're willing to invest the time and things, and so I think it's just on trend with where we're going and being aware of that.
Sorry, I think that's absolutely true. And look, I think we're guilty of that too. You know, I know for me, like when I have to do something at my home, I can read or I can watch a YouTube on how to put in a new dimmer and figure out how to do it a lot quicker. I think that's absolutely true for everybody. And the nice things too, you got to figure out is are there things you can play that don't need sound, because you know you can't necessarily have sound in a you know you walk with your students and you can have sound playing for every video, but there are things that you can alternate and throw in there that's just a video without that.
Which also continues to make it accessible, so you're not having to worry about
100%.
those.
That's right. Well, listen, thank you all. We really appreciate you cramming into our room. Andrew, we appreciate your HDMI cord.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being a part of our session today.